Thank you all for sending questions for the Tuesday Q&A. If you guys have questions for me, description box down below with all the details on how you can send me questions. Snowdrop asks, I wonder what would be the best and worst crossovers WWE could do, like the Scooby-Doo movie. Oh, okay, so like the best like crossovers that they could do and the worst ones. I'll get the worst out of the way. Anything involving any show on Cartoon Network. At this point, Cartoon Network cannot put out a good show. If you enjoy some of the crap that you see on there, good for you. But half the shit I see on Cartoon Network, I'm like, what the hell happened to this fucking station? This used to be my go-to source for cartoons. Now it's just some weird fucking cartoons where people are eating each other's asses. I'm like, what the hell? This is what the kids watch nowadays? Like, oh God. Like, my mom and my dad hated that I watched Ed, Edd and Eddy. I don't know how parents nowadays think it's okay for their kids to watch, like, Adventure Time. Like, that show is fucking disturbing for little kids. So, anything on Cartoon Network would be the worst crossover. Best crossover? Really, because WWE did an article on this recently, and they talked about, like, you know, superheroes, you know, what wrestlers would have which superpowers. And I think it would actually be cool, because Spider-Man has always been a guy that I said, like, this guy could actually be a real-life professional wrestler. If you did a Spider-Man crossover with the WWE superstars, I think that would be fucking sick. I mean, it makes sense. Spider-Man's in New York. WWE headquarters is in Connecticut. Not too far off. You know, Nick Fury just sends Spider-Man to go see Vince McMahon for whatever reason. Spider-Man's a teenager. He could be like a huge wrestling fan or something. You could make a good hour, maybe hour and a half crossover. Be fucking sick. See some of your favorite superstars have superpowers. They go face off against some random villain and some random Spider-Man villain. So why not? I think it'd be fucking sick. That's just me. That would be the best crossover in my opinion. Largest85 asks, what if Punk never lost the title to The Rock at Royal Rumble 2013 and never left and was still champion today? Not interested. Punk was still champion today. That would just be so fucking sad, man. I'm sorry, man. Like, CM Punk's world title reign at that point was already just interesting. You're telling me after he beats The Rock, all of a sudden he's still champion? Who the fuck is going to beat this guy? Because he already beat John Cena at this point, probably. And then beat Brock Lesnar again. Who the fuck is going to beat this man? Like, oh, God, man. Sorry, dude. I would not be down with that. I mean, I know a lot of Punk fans would. I know a lot of Punk fans would say, oh, that's one of the best things ever. This is what the WWE's doing right. They have CM Punk holding the title for nearly 1,000 days. But for me, I could live without it. The fake Stardust asks, what if Scott Steiner ended the Undertaker streak? I love Scott Steiner and all, guys, but really, to be honest here, him ending the streak would have been fucking stupid, and I would have been even more pissed off. Don't get me wrong, Scott Steiner is very entertaining. He's a very funny guy. But seriously, man, like, him ending the Undertaker streak, come on, be realistic here. That shit would never happen. That shit would be pathetic if it did happen. So no, I would be so pissed off if Scott Steiner ended the streak. And if he did end the streak, the WWE would be in a terrible situation. Just the truth. I may love Scott Steiner, man, but him fucking ending the streak, oh, that would just be pathetic. I'm being real here. Chase Allen asks, what are your top 5 best wrestling matches of all time? For future Q&As, this goes to everybody, just not Chase Allen. No tops in the Q&As. The reason being is because these tend to be longer questions. And these Q&As already go on forever. And I don't want to waste more of your guys' time. And I want to try to get to every question as fast as I can to answer them. So in the future, no tops in the Q&As. But since Chase probably didn't notice, I will answer this question. What are your top 5 best wrestling matches of all time? My top 5 best wrestling matches? Well, I don't know. Define best. Like my personal best or what people think are the best. I'll just give you my personal best. Hogan versus Rock at WrestleMania 18. Brett versus Owen at WrestleMania 10. Fucking... Goddamn, I'm drawing a break. Oh, Unbreakable 2005. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe for the X Division title. God... CM Punk, John Cena at Money in the Bank 2011, and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Those are my best wrestling matches, my top 5. So there you have it. I don't know if they are the best wrestling matches of all time, but in my personal opinion, those are the top 5 best wrestling matches that I've seen. James Isabel asked, did you ever think a WWE storyline was real? Yes, I did, James. The one storyline that I thought was real was Stone Cold getting hit by a car. Believe it or not, man, I actually thought that someone actually hit him with the car, and that, like, I didn't think it was an actual wrestler that hit him with the car. By the way, that shocked the fuck out of me when I found out that it was Rikishi that hit him with the car. I was like, oh my god, no way! But I actually thought some motherfucker was driving their car behind the scenes and on accidentally hit Stone Cold. I said, who would do that? Why would you do that to my hero, Stone Cold Steve Austin? I was so pissed off, man. So fuck yeah, dude. I thought Stone Cold getting hit by the car was the realest shit there was. I thought that wasn't staged. I thought that was actual real life storyline right there. That was like the straight up real things. Like, because when I was a kid, some stuff, okay, I kind of knew was fake. Like, the Undertaker doing that weird stuff. I mean, that's not realistic. But Stone Cold getting hit by a car, that shit was real to me, damn it. I'm glad you asked that question, man, because I thought that storyline was so real. I actually thought some motherfucker backstage accidentally hit Stone Cold with that car. And when I found out it was Rikishi, fucking A, dude, I was just like, the hell. I love Watermelon525 asks, thoughts on your roided up hero Ryback injuring Bo Dallas? Oh, wait, Ryback injured Bo Dallas? Pretty sure it was Sheamus, dog. Because that was Bo Dallas' last match before he got injured. And he was supposed to wrestle Sheamus at the live events. So how the fuck was it Ryback? Don't blame my boy Ryback for Sheamus' mistake. Come on, man. Reed19 asks, what if Scott Steiner and Petey Williams started a comedy movie as undercover cops? It would work out great as if they were driving in the cop car on the wrong side of the road. That would have to be the scene of a movie. So I would like it. Final Limits asks, what if WWE gave Scott Steiner the title by having him beat Triple H at Royal Rumble 2003 and had him versus Booker T versus Triple H at WrestleMania 19? Oh, that would actually be a good match. Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I mean, you would have Triple H and Booker T wrestling most of the match, and Triple H would still win, but that wouldn't be that bad. I mean, it would make sense. The world title belt was pretty much, the WCW belt. And, you have two WCW guys in there facing the WWE guy and Triple H. So, yeah, that wouldn't be that bad. I wouldn't mind it. That actually be a cool idea. So, I would like to see that. I would have liked to see that, actually. Yeah, I would have liked to see that. Because then you could have, split up a Booker T and Scott Steiner feud off of that. So, yeah, that would have been good. Greg Toomer asks, which one's bigger, Randy Orton's Raging Reen boner or Vince McMahon's boner for John Cena? Fucking Raging Reen boner. Nothing's bigger than that shit, Greg. Come on, man. I mean, Vince's boner for John Cena, let's be real here, guys. Vince is like, what, 60-something? His boner's probably not that hard anymore. It's probably a little bit limp. Randy Orton's Raging Reen boner, it's always on. You notice it's always on, man. Like, SummerSlam 2004. That's all I gotta say. Watch him in those orange fucking tights pose up there, and you will see, fuck, man, nothing can beat the ring boner. So Randy Orton's Raging Reen boner. Jay Walker asks, how in trouble would the WWE be if they lost both John Cena and Randy Orton for them to go to Hollywood? Brock Lesnar leaves to go back to the UFC, then Undertaker retires, and the WWE has no more part-timers to rely on. Oh, Jay, you just put the fucking... Oh, you just stabbed Vince in the heart right there with that question. That would be a massive trouble. And especially, I'm going to base that you're asking this question if it was around 2006, right? So I'm going to base it off that. Could you imagine if it was like, you just built John Cena and Randy Orton up to be big stars. John Cena all of a sudden gets a call, because let's just say The Marine actually did really successful in the box office. It was actually a really good movie. And John Cena gets a call to go up to do Hollywood, other Hollywood stuff. Randy Orton, let's just say like he randomly got to be a sidekick, or he was like one of the villains in one of those Blade movies or whatever, and he actually did a good job in that movie, and he gets casted for more movies. Then you have it randomly where The Undertaker says, you know what, my body can't handle it anymore, I'm retiring. You have some random fuck ended streak. And then not only that, The Rock says, sorry guys, I don't want to come back anymore. The WWE's my home and everything, but I like it here. I'm saying in Hollywood with John and Randy, we're actually making a fucking movie together. All three of us. Stone Cold's like, what? You want me to come back? What? I ain't coming back. What? oh, they would be boned. They'd be fucked. I mean, on one hand, it would force their hand and would try to make Mr. Kennedy and MVP and Shelton Benjamin and Lashley, Jeff Hardy, and Punk into stars. But it's just like, those guys wouldn't have beaten main event level talent because Batista would be still around, okay? So Batista would still be around. He would be the only star to transition his star power to those other guys. And we keep on seeing Batista get his ass kicked. Doesn't make him feel like a big deal anymore now, does it? They would be fucked. They would literally be fucked if they lost all those guys. I mean, they would try to force these guys to be big-time stars, but it's like I said, you know, they didn't really beat any big stars to reach the top. You know, like, there wasn't a guy to really pass him the torch. You know, John Cena's torch would have never been passed, just like The Rock's torch was never really... Well, The Rock's torch was passed to Brock, so I'll say that. But Brock's torch was never really passed on to anyone. He kind of just left the torch there. He just told Vince, yeah, it's burning, but I ain't going to pass it to anyone. You just give it to some random fuck and let him try to run with it. So, in all honesty, it would hurt because, like I said, there wouldn't be any credible guys for those younger guys who are being built up to beat. I mean, you would just have Batista and Triple H, but you may be considering Triple H as a part-timer, and if you don't have Triple H anymore, like, fuck, you're screwed. It's just Batista. Oh, God, that would suck. Red Wolf 316 asks, since you started watching wrestling around 1998, what was your reaction to Undertaker through Mankind Hell in the Cell? For me, I watched it as a kid, and I thought Mankind was dead. Oh, that shit. You know, someone asked about storylines earlier. That's why I didn't really bring it up, because that wasn't really a storyline. That was shit that happened in matches. I'll be honest here. Most of the storylines I knew were kind of like weird scripted crap. But when it came to the matches, I thought most of the shit that they did in matches were real as hell. That shit I always thought was real as hell, man. When someone would get hit with the sledgehammer, I was like, oh no, I hope they're okay. But Undertaker Mankind match, like, shit, dude, when you're like a little kid, 5 years old, watching a human man fall off a damn cell, fall through the damn cell, and he's like still moving, I was like, holy fucking shit, this guy's the most craziest man I've ever seen. Like, when he went through the cell, dude, I was literally thought like, oh shit, dude, that wasn't supposed to happen. I thought that shit wasn't supposed to happen. I was like, oh shit, man. And I literally sat there like just stunned, just that he was still fucking moving. That's what stunned me the most. Not that he went through the cell. I didn't think he was dead or anything. I just was like surprised that he was still fucking walking after all of that. I was like, oh my God, how is this guy still fucking walking? So, yeah, man, I was shocked by some of the shit that I saw in the ring. Some of the shit that I saw in the ring, I thought was real. You know, some of the storylines, like, they were just really, really, they were really weird. Like, you kind of knew the storylines were, like, kind of crappy, like, kind of fake. But, like, what I thought they did in the ring was always pretty much 100% real. And, shit, well, that Hell in a Cell match, man, that shit was scary. And even then, like, you know, I know a lot of people said, like, oh, if I was in this Mick Foley situation, I would have done the same thing. Me? I would have been like, nope, I ain't doing that fucking shit. Hell no. You could not tell me to get chokeslammed off the cell. The Real Hill asked, did you think TNA's Fortune faction was a Four Horsemen ripoff? Yeah, and it was mainly because TNA tried to force them as the Four Horsemen instead of trying to force them as their own entity. You know, AJ Styles has talked about this many times in his recent shoot interviews, how he wanted Fortune to feel a little bit different than other factions in professional wrestling. But, you know, they told him to wear the suits and wear this and wear that. And you just feel like the Four Horsemen. You don't want to feel like the Four Horsemen. You want to feel different. So, yeah, it was pretty much a Four Horsemen ripoff. The Gochi Man asks, do you think WWE is building up Rusev to have him get feed to John Cena? And what if WWE had John Cena come out one day to squash Rusev under 30 seconds, and then John Cena waves the American flag as a sign Rusev was buried? At this point, I don't know. I don't know if they're really building up Rusev to get buried by John Cena at this point. Because for me, if they're going to build up Rusev to get buried by Cena, he wouldn't have won the U.S. belt. That's just me. So, honestly, like, why would John Cena even go for the United States title? That's just something you have to think about there. So, at this point, sure, maybe still he's being built up to get fed by Cena. And if Cena squashed him in under 30 seconds, oh, LOL, Cena wins. Like, you know, if he waved the American flag, I mean, in all honesty, it would be believable. Yeah, it'd be believable. And also, to be honest, like, that would actually be kind of a cool storyline to set up that Rusev wasn't ready for John Cena. And that, Cena answered an open challenge. I mean, especially if Rusev made an open challenge. John Cena comes out, says, Rusev, I'll fight you. And hits him with a quick AA, covers him 1, 2, 3, waves an American flag. It gives the Americans some hope. And then afterwards, you have it where Rusev dominates most of the feud. So think about that. We know the WWE would probably not book that. We'd probably get a long, over-dramatic match where Cena breaks out of the fucking accolade, and it's like, oh, the strength of Cena, and then fucking AA's him from there. But, if he did beat him in under 30 seconds, would it really hurt Rusev, especially if it was an open challenge and he wasn't ready for John Cena? John Cena beats him really quickly, and then you do a storyline where Rusev dominates most of the feud. Wouldn't be that bad now, would it be, Gochi, man? Matt Gochi asked, what if Breakfast Club had a sex segment in the ring? With their wives, it'd be fucking awesome. Oh, fucking awesome. Jake Loomis asked, what would you have believed me if I told you 10 years ago in 2004 that John Cena was going to be the face of the WWE over Randy Orton? And would he be hated and shoved down people's throats more than Randy Orton? I would actually believe you that John Cena would be the face of the WWE just because I felt a lot of people liked Cena more than Orton. That's just me. I liked Cena back then more than Orton, I'll be honest here. Like, I've always been an Orton fan, but when it came down to who I would rather watch, it would be John Cena because the dude was entertaining. So I would believe you on that factor, but I would not believe you that John Cena would have more title reigns than Randy Orton. I would not believe you that John Cena would be shoved down our fucking throats like Randy Orton. Like, I always viewed John Cena as that one guy, like, he would win 1 to 2 to 3, 4 championships, but that's it. That's it. Like, you can't be a rapper all your life. You have to change it up a little bit. And when he was doing the Chain Gang Soldier stuff, I was like, oh, shit, man. This is only going to be a guy that wins, like, 2 title reigns, and that's it. That's what I thought. I thought Randy Orton, no matter what, would be shoved down our throats. He would be the guy that would be, like, the one close to Ric Flair's record. I thought they were setting up Randy Orton to break Ric Flair's record. That was just me. So I definitely would have believed you that maybe John Cena could have been the guy over Randy Orton just because I found them more entertaining back then than Randall Keith Orton. But if you were to say John Cena being shoved down our throats, I would have been like, no way. Randy Orton's going to get shoved down our throats. I mean, they gave him a belt at 24. Just imagine having more title reigns that he has, man. Like, shit, dude. So, yeah, I probably would not have believed you on the part of, you get what I'm saying, of Randy Orton, John Cena being shoved down our throats. Josh Chambers asked, what if WWE turned John Cena heel in 2006, since in my opinion, that was the year John Cena started to become stale and hated by the fans. Would he be as hated as he is now if WWE pulled the trigger then? Oh, no, I don't think John Cena would be hated now because it would show that John Cena can change his character. One of the problems with John Cena's character is he hasn't changed. He's still the Chain Gang Soldier. I'm here every day. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Like, he's still the same dude that he was in 2005. If they were to change him heel, and he still kind of kept those morals and beliefs, but it was his own, where he's like, I believe in my hustle, my loyalty, my respect, then it could work. Yeah, that would be fine. I don't think Cena would be as hated. He would actually be in a much better place in his career. Would he be the merch seller that he is and the target audience for the kids and have a lot of Make-A-Wishes that he does? No, but at the end of the day, I think the business would be much better off, and I think John Cena overall as a performer would be much better off. So, yeah, man, I definitely agree. Turning him heel in 06 wouldn't have been a bad idea because at that time, most wrestling fans were still tamed and weren't really that entertained by most of the heels. You could be a heel in the wrestling industry and still get majority booed instead of majority cheered. The product was still somewhat entertaining in 06, and there was a bunch of different storylines and guys that you could get behind instead of a John Cena. So, yeah, it definitely could have worked back then in 06. I just hate the idea of trying to turn John Cena heel now because in today's professional wrestling compared to 2006, 2006, you could actually identify heels and baby faces and hate the heels for their reasons and like the baby faces for their reasons. In 2014, I can't identify a fucking heel to save my life. And if I do identify the heel, I say, oh, this guy's actually good, entertaining television. I like him more than boring babyface fuck that is just like, I love the people. People power, yay. So, yeah, definitely 2006 would have been a great time to turn Cena heel. Slap Nuts 2000 asks, what if Triple H was your teacher? Oh, God. And you're in your class to write a 5-paragraph essay about how awesome the Breakfast Club is, and whoever has the best paragraph gets to manage the Breakfast Club for one night. Oh, that paper? Easy. That would be the easiest shit. I would be the only one to get an A+. In fact, Triple H would have his own grading scale. It would be an H+. That's how you know you did good on your fucking paper, if Triple H gives you an H+ on your fucking paper. So you know what, man? I would pass that. I would have the best paragraph. I would dedicate 2 full paragraphs to Triple H, so he would have to choose me to manage for the Breakfast Club. And then he would realize that, you know, I'm actually too smart about the Breakfast Club, totally bury me and give it to some stupid hot broad with big boobs in my class, so it'd piss me off. Yeah, that would probably happen. But I would write the best paper and the most knowledgeable and informative paper for the people to read, but he wouldn't choose me, that's for sure. Joe Juicy asked, what was your favorite bikini contest from WWE, and do you miss the bikini contests? I don't remember. I'm being honest here, I don't remember any fucking bikini contests. Maybe my favorite was the Diva Search one where The Rock came out and he beat up Jonathan Coachman afterwards. Yeah, that's my favorite. I remember Bikini Battle Royals, and I think those should come back. The one Bikini Battle Royal I'll always remember, oh my god, Melina. She was wearing this white fucking bikini. Oh, she looked so hot in that white bikini. If you guys know which one I'm talking about, like, oh, you know if you know what I'm talking about. But that Bikini Battle Royale, Melina was just looking so fine in that fucking bikini she was wearing. This white fucking bikini. I was like, ah! So really, to be honest, Bikini Battle Royals, yeah, they should come back. Those would be cool. Bikini contests, I don't really give a fuck about them. I mean, I can just go drive down to fucking Malibu if I want to see girls in bikinis, to be honest with you, man. Mr. Juicy asks, how pissed off would the Shrug Daddy be if Jeff Jarrett was somehow the new owner of the WWE and would make the WWE revolve around him and his bitch wife, Karen Jarrett, and then gives himself 7 world title reigns in the next 2 years? I don't know if you remember my answer to one Q&A, Mr. Juicy, where I talked about, someone asked like if Jeff Jarrett won the Royal Rumble and held the WWE title. Pretty much the Shrug Daddy would disappear, and he would not talk about anything wrestling related. You wouldn't even get a video, Mr. Juicy. Like, that would be how pissed off he is, that he won't even make a video talking about this shit, and he would just disappear. Until Jeff Jarrett somehow finally lost, you know, his powers in the WWE. Then you will see Shrug Daddy come back. He'll make a random Raw review, and then people will be all like, hey, talk about what Jeff Jarrett did recently. And he'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. That never existed. That never happened. So, really, to be honest, Shrug Daddy would completely ignore the shit about, about Jeff Jarrett. So, you know what? That will happen. That is going to happen. That will be how pissed off Shrug Daddy will be. He will not make videos. John Cool asks, how can WWE make John Cena likable to the fans that hate him, but yet can still be a draw and not hurt the company? Change his character. It's simple, but, you know, not turn him heel. Actually, him being a babyface, have emotions and not feel like he's a fucking robot that has no emotions and can feel no pain. I mean, that's the problem with John Cena. He feels like a robot. You can't relate to this guy. I mean, this guy's girlfriend aligned herself with the authority, and this guy doesn't give a shit. How am I supposed to relate to this guy? There's nothing relatable about John Cena. And the thing is, to make him likable to fans that hate him, you have to give him personalities that we can relate to. Have it where John, you know that year, like fucking where they're like, this is John Cena's worst year ever. Show why it's his worst year. Give me tangible reasons how this was his worst year. Have it where John Cena grew out a fucking scruffy beard. He's not wearing the nice clothing that he normally wears. He's wearing more grayer, darker shit. You know, he's just not having a good time. I don't know, John Cena fucking turns to drinking. Holy fucking shit. There's a redemption storyline for you there. You wouldn't actually mind if John Cena won the Rumble and you had it where John Cena, he still lost. He won the Rumble, but he still lost. He's like, yeah, I won the Rumble, but that's just one match. That's just it. And then he doesn't even care that he wins the Rumble. You actually can relate to this guy, especially if you're someone who has had dark points in your life, and especially if you're going to call it the worst year of his life. Like, I'm telling you right now, I want John Cena's worst year of his life. That year in 2012, I want that. Oh, he got divorced from his wife. That was like the worst thing that happened to him. That was it. Nothing else was bad about that year. He was still in the main event. He was still getting paid millions of dollars. How is that a terrible fucking year? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you actually showed us reasons to care about the character, because they don't show you any reasons to care about this motherfucker. They just don't. So to make him a character that people could actually like, you would actually have to give him real life aspects for us to care about. So yeah, that's just me. Or maybe have John Cena that's on Total Divas be on WWE TV, because I think that John Cena is actually entertaining. Bubblegum Flavored Steroids asks, what did you think of Scott Steiner's run in TNA? Oh, magical. Scott Steiner's run in TNA was one of his best runs ever in his career. Match-wise, not good matches, but when it came down to the promos, I'll do ham and egg. I'm hungry. Samoa Joe, they said all men are created equal, but when you look at me, you look at him, you know that's not true. Normally, when you face a normal man, you have a 50-50 chance, but I am a genetic freak, so I get a 75% chance. You got Scott Steiner doing math, and of course, the infamous finances. Fucking magical promos by Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner as a ring announcer too. Like, fuck yeah. Little Fish, didn't you ask a question already? No, you didn't. I thought you did. It's because you have the same profile pic as someone else that already asked a question. Little Fish asked, would a Miz tag team with EC3 be good with the Miz going back to his douchebag ways of 2010/2011? Oh, yeah. That would actually be a good tag team. It would work out. Be funny. Could you imagine, like, the promos? You can't wrestle. Really, I disagree. You can't wrestle. Really, I disagree. Like, that'd be fucking awesome. So, yeah, it would work out. Nintendo Fanboy 1998. Did Ryback injure Bo Dallas, and why does he injure everyone he wrestles with? Is he a sloppy botching machine? Isn't he? Sheamus injured Bo Dallas. I know a lot of you internet people don't watch Main Event. Neither do I don't. But Bo Dallas wrestled Sheamus on Main Event and was going to wrestle Sheamus on the live events. So how the blue fuck did Ryback injure fucking Bo Dallas? When it was clearly that he wrestled Sheamus that probably fucking injured him. Ryback's not perfect in the ring. I'm not saying the dude's perfect in the ring, but the fact that y'all are blaming Ryback and not fucking Sheamus is showing that the Breakfast Club fucking rules, damn it. Oh, it can't be fucking Sheamus. The fuck? Yes, it could be. Shit, so I don't get why you guys blame Ryback. Why? Can't the guy just get a break, man? I mean, the dude had, like, the worst booking in the past 2 fucking years. He's finally on fire again. He's actually being a babyface. He could be a guy that could be a star for the company. Get the guy a fucking break. Seriously, man. And besides, he injured Bo Dallas. Like, Bo Dallas, yes, he's comedic. Yes, he's Chase Bolivar's favorite fucking wrestler. But Bo Dallas is just a comedy mid-carder. Boo fucking who. We lost Bo Dallas. It's not the end of the world. It's not like you're losing fucking Daniel Bryan. Just saying. Pielto Nilton asks, what do you think of Jeff Hardy versus Undertaker main event from Raw in 2002 for Taker's Undisputed Championship? Good match. It made Jeff Hardy into a legit main eventer, but it's sad that Jeff Hardy at the time loved doing pills instead of wrestling. Just the truth, man. Just the fucking truth. But it was a good fucking match, and definitely one that you should check out if you're a wrestling fan, especially if you like ladder matches, especially because, like, Undertaker putting on a great ladder match, like, the fuck? Didn't see that shit coming. Bill Bradford asked, what was your thoughts when John Cena returned in the 2008 Royal Rumble? I was completely shocked because I remember at the time, the biggest rumor on the interwebs was that the Big Show was going to return. And I gave 2 shits about that. I was like, I don't want to see the Big Show back. Especially being number 30 in the Rumble. Who the fuck cares? So I pretty much went into that Rumble thinking Triple H was going to win and face Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That's what I thought. All of a sudden at 30, when Triple H hit the pedigree on Umaga, I'm like, okay, come out, Big Show. Get your fat ass out here and fucking board this match where you and Triple H are the final 2. All of a sudden when I heard, I was like, the fuck? I was actually marking out. That was fucking sick. Because remember, John Cena was supposed to be gone for like 6 to 8 months. He was supposed to be gone a long fucking time. We weren't supposed to see this guy until next summer. this guy's coming back in January, and he came back in a great way, man. That's probably one of the best John Cena moments. When he came back, he had his arms all crossed, and he looks up, and then JR's number 30 is John Cena. The roof has imploded, and Cena's all fucking hyped and shit like that. And the fans were hyped. They were like, oh, fuck, man, there's Cena. And then once he got into the ring, he got booed. But nonetheless, it was still, to me, a fucking epic return and an awesome return. That has to be like a top 20 return in wrestling history. I'll be honest here. I'll put that at like 19 or 20 in top 20 returns in wrestling history, because that shit was fucking sick. Like, they kept that shit secret and quiet, because I don't know if you guys knew this on the dirt sheets or whatever, but I remember the dirt sheets were saying to me, from what I was reading on the dirt sheets at the time, was that it was Big Show coming back at number 30. I did not expect it to be John Felix Anthony Cena. So I don't know if someone was just on the dirt sheets during the event. They could tell me, oh yeah, I read a report that Cena was returning at that Rumble. But I remember Big Show was rumored to return, not John Cena. So that was a fucking awesome return. I liked it. I thought it was cool. One of Cena's best moments in his career, too. Thank you all for sending questions for this edition of the Q&A. Remember, I have the Friday Q&A for you guys to send questions to. If you guys have any opinions on the questions, comment section down below with your thoughts. Give this video a big old thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time.